Alright, good morning and welcome back to the Road to Better Chess. We are black. Oh, and knight f3. I think this is the first time we face this in this Road to Better Chess series. Just get the little baby monitor up here so I know what's going on with little man. Alright, so I don't really have a strong plan against this. I'm going to go d5 and I'm maybe going to look for something like this. Maybe play like a reverse London or something. Oh, okay. Already this position is looking a little bit different from what I would be used to. We could still fianchetto in this situation. And have a pawn structure like this and get this man out. Yeah, I think we're going to do that actually. I have a line against the Nimzo-Larsen, which is bishop up directly. Oh, wow, okay. Our opponent is going for a double fianchetto. Not sure what we want to do here. We could continue this way. If we push and then defend, this diagonal gets a bit weak. Okay, I think we're just going to continue with our general plan, which is here and this. Alright, so let's go h6. So our bishop will instantly have a little cubby to run away to, and we don't really need to react to that. If they take our knight, we will be happy to take back. Double f pawn's not the worst, and the bishop there would be very nice. So that should be okay. Alright, oh my goodness, okay, our opponent is just playing so many interesting moves here. Alright, so this sets up a potential e4, which isn't in itself a major problem. Actually, e4 right now doesn't work, because we would take and they would take back and we would just hit that queen, so probably we could actually just go ahead over here, or even over here, maybe over here instead. So we can get our bishop out and get castled. So e4 now, we would love to see that, because that just loses a pawn and the ability for our opponent to castle. So they have to put up their knight first. I'm expecting one of these moves right now. Yeah, okay. Alright, nothing. Well, we could go here, and if they run into this, we would have an interesting little fork. Unfortunately, our diagonal would be weak. So maybe we just finish up the reverse London over here now. Alright, so this is a London but with black. This general pawn setup. I don't know if this is... yeah, this is okay too. Alright, yeah, we're just going to continue so we can also castle. Importantly, we're not going to put on a bishop over here, because after that we might have some trouble with getting back to safety. I also just have to think what happens after this. It still loses a pawn actually though. So here we can take, and we can take the pawn. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to continue here. We're not going to put on our bishop there, because then we might have some problems. Okay, now e4 is a bit of a concern, because it forces us to run backwards. So we could castle and let them play it, and then we could fall back, and then they continue. There's a whole line here where our knight gets pushed around quite a bit. But we also have this option, we also have this option to hit that. Actually, this section might be nice. So here, take, and we drop our bishop back, and if they push, then we go over here, so that we can play our bishop up and just trade it off for theirs. And if they try to defend that situation, what do we do then? What do we do then? The other option is just to drop back immediately, but this doesn't really change too much, to be honest. Oh, but we have two here, right? So take. Actually, we've got Yeah, actually we can castle here because we've got two attackers on that square right now. Okay, now we need to move. Alright, so after e4 we could also put our bishop over here. If they stuck this in here, we're actually not too uncomfortable with that position. We still have a chance to put the bishop across if we need to. This is maybe worth considering, but I kind of want my knight to be able to come back here. So against e4, what do we feel like doing? Honestly, I feel like I'm going to take once. They're going to take back with their pawn. And I guess I just run back. And when they push e5, e5 is well defended from their side, so it's a bit difficult for us. So I don't actually know this opening in terms of theory, so for me this is all a little bit, we're playing a position. There's some interesting plans here, just for instance here, and then we can do this. Obviously this wouldn't really work as such, but it would be fun to mess with them. We'd actually only get the pawn, they'd move the king out of the way, and then what? So queen up over here, or sacking, or putting our bishop back immediately. Unfortunately we don't have knight c6, so we can't push this pawn up any further. Although we could do this now, and after here, well, we'd have to take, and they take back, and then, yeah, that's probably not the best move either. But then I don't really like this move because my knight doesn't have anywhere to go. My knight has to do this, which is iffy at best. I need to be able to play this, but I'm just not able to. E4. Oh, we could not take. And if they take back, we're just happy to take back and keep it. If they push, then we have to jump back here. And we're attacking this once. Our queen could be out, so we could be attacking it twice. But they have so many defenders. We could hit it, but then this pawn is weak, unfortunately. Yeah, this is where I run out of theory, unfortunately. What can we do? What can we do? Take, take. Is this a bit loud? I'll make this a bit softer. There we go. Alright, so the options I'm thinking are this. Getting the queen out is pretty good. There isn't really another spot I want to move it to, unfortunately. Queen out doesn't allow us to play this either. We have so many other moves we have to play in between. Take, take here. That's two attackers, but they've got three defenders. So they're really gonna get this through, kind of one way or another. Making them play H could be a move. Queen up and I can ignore it anyway. I could also take once, which seems a bit better. I feel like I should take once to open up this against the queen. Actually, I got this then. Yeah, so this square is weak right now, so if I go here, I can actually have dropped the knight or the... Maybe, so this is maybe the move I need first, but in that case, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to play my knight back here. This square might be accessible along the way, but not immediately. And my knights would be a little bit like superfluous, just everyone looking at the same squares. Maybe here, they take back, and I can get across. That square is not so weak. Wow, I mean anything is probably still okay, but I'm a little bit unsure. I did put my bishop here so that they can push their pawn through. And I wouldn't be forked, you know, so I did expect this might be a plan. So I don't like having my... Otherwise I have to do this. Then I really don't know where this knight is going long term. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is the plan, because then I can try put my knight here. And if they push me again, I would be able to hit this pawn twice. So here, take once, fall back, they push, I come around. And then I can hit this square. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna knight a6. This may not be the best move, but I feel like my knight shouldn't be here because I want to be able to jump the other knight there. So I'm looking at this. After they push and we take once and I fall back, this is a little bit weak. And I actually have a fork option there as well. So e4 here. Whoa, spent so much time on this, trying to figure out a plan. Okay, so we're going to take once to make them take with this pawn so that this is a little bit weaker. Now we fall back. Alright. And when they push, we jump out of the way. And then we're looking at this pawn. And if they don't watch out for this jump, we've got it. Yeah, okay. I also have this, but then I don't know what I'm doing after c4, because then I don't really have... This kind of invites them to hit me again, which I don't really like. And I can't take this pawn right now, so... here, c4... I guess I could come here then, actually, and these two... Oh, actually, this is actually not too bad, because c4 and I have this jump with this knight. And then I have both of these squares weak. I'm threatening a fork. I'm also threatening a different fork. That's actually pretty good. If I end up here... If I go here and they go a3 stopping me... then I'm really not sure. I'll end up with knights like this maybe. Yeah, so this doesn't work if they see the plan coming. Although this doesn't work if they see the plan coming here either. Hmm. Take. If I jump now and I sack this for that, it doesn't really help me much, does it? Sack, hit the queen. Nah. I don't think this is really sustainable. If you jump out immediately, it's good. But if you play a3, I'm kind of screwed. Okay, we're just going to go back. I'm going to get my queen out. I do have this threat, but I'm expecting they're going to stop it with a3. And we are way down on time trying to figure out how to play this position. We have an obvious square for our queen though, which is nice. We can get our rook out to d8. And there are still some ways we can try and get this knight active. Oh wow, okay, they're just straight coming in themselves. Do I do this now? Because your knight jump doesn't actually threaten anything. If you move your rook over, I can take here, hitting your rook again anyway, and then come back. Alternatively, I hit you here. That doesn't really help much. Yeah, this rook jump, very inconvenient, but not an immediate problem. I go here, you go here, I take, you take there, I go out, and this pawn would be weak once that knight jumps though. Okay, so I can't really lose this pawn. So jump, jump, I have to go out first. But you can't protect this and this, can you? And if you really can, I guess I could do this and then chop you off. Okay, we're going for it. We're also running out of time, so we've got to start playing a little bit faster. So out here, and worst case we can always come back, and then this knight is a little bit alone. c4, you'd have to go back maybe. Yeah, this d6 square is definitely critical, but the actual knight jump doesn't do that much just yet. Okay, I see. I see. So I can take this, take, and then what? Not much, unfortunately. I don't have another way to attack that square. If you push it, I still have this jump, which might be fun. Hit the bishop, and I'm going to take it. So you're going to have to push here. Is there any nice combination of moves where I can? I don't think so. Okay, we're just going to go. If this pushes, we can jump in here. We can pick up this dark square bishop, I think. If here, though, I think we just have to go back. We can maybe trade off their aggressive knight. Yeah, okay. I don't think this is worth it. I think this is a bit better for us. Let's move a little bit faster. Currently that pawn can't move anyway. And worst case, we can also jump back to b6, opposing this knight. Oh, our little man is waking up. He's for real awake. Oh, I'm on 2 minutes. I gotta just quickly check. Thankfully I put in a little bit of time this morning with the little man and with housework, so at least I got some constructive. Okay, doubling up here against this, I guess. I really want to find a way to... Oh, this knight doesn't really have a lot of squares right now, so if I hit it, it has to go back here. I could trade it off, they could take anyway. And then I would have this, hitting whatever's on that square. I don't know if that really matters though, they have this square to block. Okay, let's just get this out first. I also have this square for the knight and the queen right now, but I think trading off the queen maybe makes my position a bit easier to play. And actually the queen here wouldn't help because I could hit you. And I'm still protecting here. And running your queen in here seems just silly. So I'm not actually controlling a lot of squares here, unfortunately. This is the problem. Do I have actual control? I have this, I guess. And I have this square, but hard to get to. So maybe here is a move I should consider. Here, here. But where am I going from there, you know? I would have a potential opening up on this file against the queen though, so that's maybe something to consider. So if I jump one of the knights out of the way, and then I jump the other one out of the way, I'd actually hit the queen. Okay, I think this is my chance. I guess I'm gunning at this square, and if they come at me, I'm actually going to take the pawn with the knight, because I've got this discovery on the queen. And I've got sufficient protectors, so even if they take, they won't be able to checkmate me by accident on my back rank. By accident. So that queen is a little bit... Here's a square it could go to. And that's really it, or backwards, I guess. Here, but that doesn't really solve the problem. And after I jump... Okay, they saw it, obviously. Alright, can I get anywhere with my pieces? I still don't have any control of these things, and I don't have enough attackers on the squares. I can't get a knight there. Maybe I should just trade off some rooks. Maybe we just trade off some rooks. Because this is going to give me the file. As they put a rook there, then it does not quite give me the file, unfortunately. Although I might be able to eventually get here. Okay, do I take with my queen or with my pawn? My queen doesn't have to be anywhere else right now, so I think I could actually take with my queen here. This does offer me the chance to sack there, although I don't know if I really want to. So here we go. Still protecting the rook. Oh, interesting. Okay. This actually I think might be a bit of a mistake. I can hit your queen first, and I can hit your queen again. I can also hit your... Well, there's actually so many options for me right now. Alright, let's hit your queen first. And if you take my knight, I take your bishop, and your queen's also... Oh, your queen's actually hanging with checks. It doesn't matter. I'll just take your queen first. And I've got these jumps for my knights now. I've got control of the open file. Interesting. Not what I expected. Alright, take. And hit the queen again. And I have this, importantly. Although if they come in here, I might actually have to... I wonder if they come here, this is kind of dangerous for me, you know? Take, they jump back. They go there. I have to move my bishop somewhere here to keep me... Okay, so I can actually take once and I can then protect my bishop like this. Okay, now they see this plan. They're not falling for it. I don't have this jump now, unfortunately. Okay, I can hit your knight here. Trade it off. I still have a5 as well because this bishop is loose. the thing is, after they push, I have to take back, and then my B pawn is also weak. This pawn's also here. Still weak right now. I'm expecting they're going to push it at some point, right? Oh, little in between move, but I get this with check, so that's not such a big deal. Take. I get this with check, and then your bishop is hanging. Oh, we got them with the tactic. Yeah, so you have to take back either way, and this bishop is mine. Thank you very much. Alright, we're going to check here, which might be good. This pawn is weak. Yeah, I'm actually just going to pick up this pawn now. It might be time to make some more lift for my king. I need to make sure that they cannot get in. But we are up a piece and up a pawn, so it's looking pretty good for us. So this might be good. Okay, yeah, they're just gonna try come at us with some plans. Alright, now we're gonna hit this. Okay, I'm just gonna be taking things, threatening and a queen. And I can still block. Okay, hello. I'm just trading down now. I'm just clearly winning up a pawn, up a bishop. This should be easy enough to convert. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have to rush here. I can just get my king over. I'm way down on time, but I'm very much better right now. Alright, and just say thank you very much. This is very safe. I'll just stick around here. Here, and I can actually trade off your bishop if you go to the wrong square. Okay, never mind if you don't. Alright, we're moving on up. Still moving on up. And we're going to start breaking some things open here. Maybe I'll make you move your pawns a bit. So we can just force a trade off here. Take once. Hit your bishop, and if you don't, then I take your pawn. Alright, this is just a mop-up now. Yeah, I'm interested already in the analysis to understand if that setup was okay, if our opponent had like the best way to play against it, because it wasn't easy. It felt very uncomfortable for a lot of the game. Alright, just coming here again. Any trade is great for us, so I can actually get you stuck here. Although I guess I shouldn't. Okay, we're just gonna push some pawns. It's not really that much our opponent can do about this. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Well, we can make sure with our bishop here as well, so we can take. And we can play back here actually. I mean, doesn't matter what they play though, we're going to be fine. So actually we can just continue pushing our pawns. You can't break here. Yeah, doesn't matter. I have a way to protect it. I'm also protecting this pawn. Your king can't stop two pawns and a bishop on its own. Let's get this back so the pawns can roll. And I can do this. And then I can do... What do I want to do? This, and then if you go here, I can go in and sack my bishop and just... Because this is a dark square. Okay. It's a little bit fancy, gotta make sure we don't make a massive mistake here, but I don't think it matters. If we go here and you take us, then we just push past. Your bishop can't get there, your queen can't get there. Alright, here we go. This is your only getaway square, but either way you go. Oh no, okay, this was also... Alright, we can keep on pushing. And now we also have a bishop that can push you out of the dark square in the corner if we have to. And even if we lose this pawn, actually it doesn't matter. This pawn can't pass, this pawn is still stopped as well. So, alright, so attack you once, and now we're going to push you out of the corner here. Assuming that's what you're doing. Actually, this is just mate. This is just mate. So you're either going to make us queen, or you're going to... Yep, okay, GG. Alright, we're going to... Sometime later. Alright, we're back. Little man is okay, housework is done. Let's just quickly look at the analysis here. So, knight f3. Actually, in Blitz, I've been playing knight f3, and I've just been setting up like a King's Indian attack every round. It's because it's black can't stop you. You know, it's like the King's Indian defense against d4. It's really hard to stop you. You have to like throw your pawns like crazy. So anyway, d5 we go. Now we get like a Nimzo-Larsen, but it's delayed a slight bit. And this is very good control of the e5 square, so it's difficult for us to play, you know, some sacky line against it. So we just develop. H6 here was probably not necessary. Probably just bishop out is fine. Even if they end up chasing the bishop around, we could you know run it around a little bit. But if they took, we would have the open file against their king. And even if we ended up castling, we'd have a lot of pawns on light squares. So our black, our dark square bishop would be doing pretty well, and we would trade off our worst bishop. So that should be okay as well. But anyway, so this time I did h6. Probably not the best move, probably not the theory move, but it's, you know, it's okay. We're going to transpose a little bit. And they still can't play e4 for a while because we've got good control of that. They have to get the knight out, they have to get the rook over. So we can continue. Now we know that we're going to put our bishop over here. Not here because we're scared there's some fork problem later on. So here also again, probably could just play up the bishop first and castle. I don't have to play this immediately, but I didn't want them to take and push and then jump the knight suddenly and they're attacking the square twice or something silly and maybe it's uncomfortable, so just get very safe. Alright. Okay. And in this position they're coming with e4. So we know it's coming. It's a classic break for white in this kind of setup. They've got the dark square bishop, they've got the light square bishop. And they're going to break open the position and push into e5. So we spent a lot of time here. We could drop the bishop back to just avoid the tempo, which didn't matter that much in this position, I think, because we ended up just doing the same thing in a transposed. I never wanted to play my knight on the inside to d7, because then this knight didn't have a good square to go to. We'd have to go to e8. I didn't like that. Or we'd have to put the bishop here like this, but then they could still kind of grab it, and that's not a pawn structure I want, because this e-pawn is going to get weak quick. This is their attacking file. We could also have put up our queen out, but I wanted to get the knight out. I like the idea of having a potential pressure on c2. So knight out, here they come. We don't have to take. We could actually just fall back, and if they take back, and you know the e-file is open, and they don't have any bind on us, but they still have control of this e5 square. And actually this is one of the reasons I didn't want to play my queen out, because they could do this, although I realized I could have, you know, probably just put my bishop up and traded, and then we lose our good bishop, but they also don't have this pressure on us anymore. But anyway, so knight a6, that was okay. We took once, then we fall back. Now we have this spot for our knight. Did consider d5, but I wasn't so sure. You know, both my knights are coming to the same squares. It feels a bit wrong. And actually this ended up working for us pretty well, so that's okay. Yeah, knight. I didn't expect this knight out, but it makes sense. They could have jumped here as well. Just blocking this bishop, opening up the file, and then getting this. They could have also just played c4 directly. And after we come here, they could have gone here, which blocks the bishop from the view and means that the knight can't do much, and then a3 kind of kills our plan anyway. Alright, and we could have moved our queen first, but I figured if they jump the knight, then I can move my queen and nothing's hanging on these squares. You know, I'm still doing fine. So I attack first over here, and they found a good defense, I guess. yeah, um, probably fine. The other option they had maybe was what? To put this knight back here, defending that square, which also defends this square. And then I don't know. They could always jump again after they push my knight away. This is a bit of a one move threat. Doesn't really threaten that much. But we do at least have this kind of escape square as well. So we put our queen up, and then we put our knight over there. And at least what we have now is we have a file that we can work with, because we have the d8 square open, and if this knight jumps out and if this one retakes, we've got control of this d7 square, but our rook would also be on the file. Our bishop's helping to control the d6 square. d5 is completely ours. Alright, so yeah, queen up makes sense, but it kind of like walks into our plan. So over, and here we've got enough protection on this square that your queen can't take and sack. It's not going to work. So first one, we threaten this jump here, but also what we're kind of just doing is we're opening up the file, right? So they jump out of the way, and here I decided to just continue opening it up. My thinking is that if we trade off all the rooks, then at the very least the position is a little bit less scary, and although white is clearly better with the position in terms of having more space, with the rooks off, I think it'll be slightly easier to start unwinding the position for us. They take once, we take with the queen, doesn't matter. Taking with the a pawn is probably okay as well, but I didn't really want it there. I didn't see the point, so just this. Jump our knight, and here we take first, hitting the queen, and then we hit the queen again. So here you can sack your queen for a rook and a knight, and I'd actually probably take back here so I could take the pawn as well. So that would be pretty good for me. You could also take here, but then unfortunately I get in check, and if you block, I take back, and again it's good for me. Alright, so they block first, I take, and I saw that here I can jump and hit the queen. I did also have this jump, which looked very tempting, because I get into these two squares, but nothing I have is helping to control those squares, so it doesn't actually work. The bishop goes to sit on a1, for instance, and I can't get in there. My knight's just kind of out of the game. Yeah, so this move seemed a little bit better. I have one kind of getaway square here. Everything else is covered, unfortunately, but I have this square. So importantly, in this position, if I sit around and do nothing, then they're going to play. Also, I mean, my knight is not like immediately under attack, but if they play h4, my knight has nowhere to go. So I'm playing a little bit dangerously here, but I expected them, they would just take, I would take with my bishop, get a bit more action, and then we'll go from there. Probably then I would start to try work my queen back in or something, but they just fell for a little bit of a tactical pattern here, very easy, taking the defender away. So this is check, they have to respond to it first, and they don't have another knight to take with, so nothing's defending the bishop. So here, and from here we're just up a bishop and a pawn, so, oh sorry, we're still just up a bishop, apologies, but here we're up a pawn as well. So this pawn is weak, and this pawn is weak, and the queen can't, well, the queen can actually defend both. They could have gone here. I guess they didn't want this check to happen, that's why they played this up instead. But they could have just done this, and then even if I checked, they could block with their queen or block with their bishop or something, but anyway, so they give us the e-pawn, which is great, because this has been the thorn on our side. Finally, these fd6 squares are good, and this is basically mopping up. Trading off queens here is terrible for white. The only way you're going to potentially still save this game is by keeping queens on and trying to complicate. Alright, and we're not going to go through the rest. I don't think that matters too much. So let's just jump into the analysis and see what we can see. Alright, our opponent, 1873, a little bit weaker than us. R rating 1977, we're getting close to the 2000 mark. Very excited for that as well. I've never actually put in enough time to actually reach 2000. I'm going to run the analysis in the background, but I'm really interested to see kind of how others play this position, because reverse London is still not a new idea. Many people play it. Um, So let's just see. D5 is a move. B3 is a move here, and this is the Nimzo-Larsen classical variation. Okay, so I know this Nimzo-Larsen, which is just B3 directly, the Nimzo-Larsen attack. Alright, so this is the classical variation, so it is clearly still a game. Knight f6 main move, bishop e2 is main, g3 is also move. Scores very well for white at the top. And here, my best move apparently is c5. c5 scoring pretty good. At the top level, bishop f5 also pretty good. Main move. Yeah, so I did h6 here, and this is just silly. So this is the way I should have continued. Bishop e2, e6, or h6. So I'm going to transpose in a second, I guess. I did this first, then they went out, then bishop e5. Oh, this is Carlsen versus Wesley So. Alright, in good company here with Wesley So. Alright, but now we just transpose. D3 is a move, bishop g2 is the main move though. Close up e6 behind us, bishop g2. Okay, and here bishop e7, main move, bishop c5 also good. Yeah, so c6 probably again is going to transpose, but bishop e7 is just probably a little bit more um, optimal. You know, we're not wasting time, we're getting our king castled immediately. So I'm wasting a bit of time here. This is a move though, we are transposing back into some other games. Knight bd2 in castles, bishop e7, knight bd2. So all of these moves still transpose. We're going to castle. Rook e1 is also one of the main moves. C4 and queen e1 also good. And in this position, we have bishop h7, a5, knight bd7, and knight a6 is only one of the moves, unfortunately. Alright, so let's just look at what the main situations look like. So take... Oh, interesting, don't take. A5 is main move. Okay. And then they kind of stop us there first. So let's say they play e5. We go over, and what if they like play like d4 here and just completely close off the position? This is actually good for us. Okay, I guess they don't have an immediate kingside attack, and we're going to be the ones breaking on the queen side. Alright, so this is something I didn't quite think about. If they stop us with a4, for instance, then knight a6 is much better because we have that square. It's a little bit more defended. Okay, interesting. Alright, knight bd7 is still a move. What happens after e5? Knight e8, yeah, I didn't want to play that. I didn't want to play that. Alright, and if they go a3, which is a little bit less committal, knight a6 is still a move. And here queen, knight e5, and taking are the main moves. Alright, so this is not a main move anymore, and it's just equal after you jump your knight back. Alright, so although the position was very uncomfortable for us, actually it wasn't that bad. So we jumped up first, e4. Okay, now we're still in good company here, 24 and 2200 game. We took once, they took back, bishop h7, and e5. So this is what I expected them to play. Ooh, I can see here actually we made a mistake tactically later on. Back. Alright, so now we're not actually in master level games anymore. Lead chess, top lead chess. No one has played this either. Interesting. Bishop h. No one plays e5. Interesting, no one plays e5. I mean, I always expected e5 to come, but interesting enough, it didn't matter. And this was the best move, just putting our knight on that square immediately. Alright. And they were supposed to just give us this pawn. Oh, okay, because after they jump, so they jump, we take, they have this. And they're attacking everything. So what would I do in this position? I think I actually would probably save my... I could jump this knight somewhere to kind of like mess up this situation, but this is very weak. I'd probably save here, and then... Difficult call. I don't really look forward to the e6 move, but if I do this, the c file's open. Alright, apparently this is just better. Here, and what do? b6? Yeah, okay, this is apparently just good for us, okay. Alright, but that didn't happen. We only went there eventually, and yeah, queen up didn't feel right. Here. I did look at b5 a lot, but it just didn't feel like the best move. b5, Knight back. Oh, it's just a bit better for us. Okay, now we've got our queen side running. And if you jump in, I don't know if I saw this in this position, but I know the plan here. You take the pawn, and it doesn't matter how they defend, you can take the knight. If they take here, which seems to defend it, you still take the knight, and you're just up a pawn. A very important pawn in this position as well. Okay, and the queen is defended at least once. Oh, and interestingly, you're hitting the... Oh, this is equal though. Take, take, and you have to play here. If they take your queen, you take here with check. Then you take the queen, they take back, and you're running around. You're down a piece, but you have 3 pawns for it. Although 2 of them are isolated, so I don't think this is easy for black to win. Alright, so we didn't do that, we just jumped, we opened up this file, it's still okay, they saw it, we traded off. Yeah, either one is fine, and B4 is a mistake. They should have actually just vacated the file. Yeah, I don't think they were vacating anything. That's a bit of a surprise, although they were supposed to do this and then push, I guess. Okay, trade. Rook over is good. A5 is actually best. Okay, because this is hanging, so you can't take, and I'm just gonna take out your pawns a bit here. And if you weaken this square, I can jump my knight or my bishop in there. Okay, so this is still okay. And oh, yeah, I didn't consider that at all. I did not consider this move. Interesting. Yeah, and again, if you take, I take here, and you've got a broken queen side. So in this whole game, the whole time, Black's plan is a queen side break, which I just didn't really even plan. I did not consider going on the queen side. Alright, so I did this, which is +2 if you don't trade. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Okay, and this is clearly now the... I expected them to take, and that's probably just equal again. Yeah. But if they don't trade, we are a bit screwed, because our knight can't go anywhere. Yeah, one of these is going to hit the knight. This square is completely taken. In this position, we can't push either because this pawn is... So here they hit us. Back, take, take. Take here, pinning it. Okay. Well, okay. So they just blundered after we blundered. Take, and then just a mop up, which is fine. Alright, so I think first off, the move order was slightly wrong. So let's just go bishop f4 is here. This is the main move. I'm just gonna go look at what like the main line looks like. Bishop g2, h6, castle, bishop e7. Yeah, so I did this move too early and this move too early. d3, castles, knight bd, and then a5 is something I never considered. But the point being off, and this is actually something you do in the King's Indian as well, I know. And then something else maybe, but maybe this is just the general plan for black. a5 before knight a6, because it helps you with the b4 square potentially. And also when you go to c5 later on, potentially it helps to protect your knight a little bit as well. Alright, so we were supposed to do this. If we didn't, we were supposed to put c5 on the board, which I also didn't really look at. c5, rook over, knight c6, e4. This is apparently just good for us. Interesting stuff. And if they push, this is just kind of like a King's Indian attack, very slow. Yeah, but we've got our bishop on this side now, which is pretty good for us. Okay, okay. So next time, move order a little bit better, and I think I will start with this a5 idea, and then whichever way they. What if they ignore it? We can still just jump on knight, I guess. And here they come. And we are not supposed to trade. We are not supposed to trade. So actually, ideally, we want them to take to open up the file. Okay. Let's say they block that up. Now we play c6. And we're just taking care of the whole position. Alright, fair enough. Not bad. Alright, a little bit unfortunate. We obviously didn't have the best plan here, but now we know. So next time we can do slightly better. Alright, I think we're going to leave it there. Closing position just again. This was actually mate in 4, I see. This was a fun move. I don't think there was too much to learn in the endgame itself, so I'm not going to go through that. Well, thank you very much. As always, I'm glad to get another in the board. We are still getting closer to that 2,000 mark, which is nice, but not a goal. It's just a milestone. We want to continue far past that if we can. So, yeah, see you again in the next one, and as always, keep on improving. Bye-bye.